Okay, welcome everybody to week 7. So if you're in the 3D graphics course, at this point we've covered 3ds Max and ZBrush, and I know they're both pretty different in applications. I like 3ds Max because I feel like it does a really great job of really allowing you to understand how 3D works, like what 3D is good for, what can you do with it, all that kind of fun stuff. So I wanted to make this video a little bit different because if you guys haven't noticed, everybody is talking all about AI right now, artificial intelligence, and it's not slowing down. In fact, if anything, it's speeding up. As many of you are in our game design program, this can be a little bit disconcerting or worrisome as a lot of our procedures and tools that we use and how we create things are changing, and they're changing rapidly and quickly, and there's a lot to try to take in. So I wanted to make this video and kind of show you some of the cool tools that are out there that you can use for any of your projects. The big thing I would just say is, as we go forward, the idea of utilizing AI tools in creating video games, game art, and different elements is only going to increase. The truth is, we look at like Pal World and how Pal World used AI to help with their designs, and nobody cared. And I say nobody cared. Lots of people cared, but they sold plenty of games. And really, that's what it kind of comes down to, right? Like when the AI is quicker, faster, cheaper, and ideally safer than humans, it's replacing them. So it can be a little scary. Like if you're seeing this video, you're like getting a little worried about AI, and you're watching some videos on AI and the job market and things changing. I think that's okay. It's okay to be a little bit worried. I would say don't panic. The truth is, this is new for everybody. And if I am talking about AI and I'm making it sound like the world is ending, you're more likely to click on my link and watch my video, which is how I get money. That's how the news agencies have been doing it for 30 years. That's definitely how all social media works. So don't get caught in that trap. Don't get focused only on the negative, but be prepared and understand that how we create things is fundamentally changing. This class is a great example. I have taught 3D graphics, and I've taught 3D modeling, and I've done 3D modeling for 20 years. And in 20 years' time, there are some things that still have barely changed, and there are some things that are vastly different. I have seen shifts in the entire industry where tools that didn't even exist became the norm more times than I can count. The important thing is to understand that that's just the nature of game development. And you guys are really, all of you students are in a really exciting and unique place because you are in that spot where, as new graduates, a lot of companies are going to look to you as knowing the future, knowing how to utilize the new way of doing things, the new tools, the new cool stuff. And I want to make sure you know some of the stuff that's happening out there so you guys are prepared. Do I think there will be zero handcrafted artwork? Never. There will never be zero handcrafted artwork. Do I think that there will be never anybody creating 3D models? I think at some level they'll always be around. They might become a little bit more bespoke or unique for specific items, but as these things get better and better and better, it's hard to say. There's 20 years of experience I have that may not be worth a whole lot. Here I stand as a farrier or a cooper waiting to shoe horses or make barrels with the skills I have. And that's also scary if I wasn't even more excited about what I'll be able to do with base knowledge and these amazing tools. And that's what I want you to understand, is you are learning the base knowledge of how all of this stuff works. And just like ZBrush, understanding the fundamentals of 3D from 3ds Max makes some of the things that happens in ZBrush make more sense to you. That's what this is all about. So there are 2 links that I'm linking inside of our Canvas shell above. One of them is Easy with AI. The other one is Future Tools. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, I can't vouch that they'll both be there, but I can promise you that there'll be another one to take their place if it's not. Future Tools covers everything AI. It's almost a little overwhelming, but you can't isolate to just gaming or generative art or generative code or video editing or text to video or speech or whatever you need for your project and view just those, even avatars right here. So I just click gaming so you can see. I have not used all of them. Every week there's a new AI tool coming out. I've used a lot of AI tools. I want you to understand a lot of them work very similar, and there's really no way to have experience using them all unless that's all you do full time and you're using them for only like 5 minutes. So keep that in mind. There are definitely ones on here that I had not heard of. There are a lot of them on here that I have heard of. Heard of AI Dungeon. I played with Blockade Labs, one of the tabs here I'm going to show you. You know, 3DFI is one I've definitely used. I've used Sloyd. I've checked out KDIM, Mirage, a lot of these 3D modeling programs because that's what I'm interested in. And so there's a lot of neat stuff. Over here, they're categorized a little bit different, but they have 3D assets and textures in their own drop-down menu. And again, there are so many AI tools. Like literally, I had this open last week. I refreshed the page, and this one showed up that wasn't there last week, which is way better than the one I had open that I was going to do a video about last week. So that's how quickly this stuff's changing. So again, check them out. Take a look. If you want to use them for any project, that's fine, but you have to cite it. Just like as if you're pulling a quote from something or a picture from another place. That's all I ask. Citing it like Skybox made by Skybox AI or Blockade Labs. Perfect. Put a little a notepad file in there, a Word file, and just keep track of what you're using and where it's from. And then all you're going to get from me is a good job. It looks great. Don't pass off something generated as your own. That is not a good idea. Okay? Embrace it, celebrate it, utilize it, document it. Okay? All right. So let's check out a few of these. So I showed this one last week. This is Ready Player Me. Let me go to my avatars. So this is connected to lots and lots of different VR capable worlds. So there's Spatial, that's the one we've been using. And there are a couple of different ones. If you make a new avatar for Spatial or something, it'll pop in here. There are different games. You can actually click on Discover Apps and view all the different apps that connect to this, this tool. It's a pretty ingenious idea. So by making a shared avatar across multiple platforms, Spatial is essentially creating a shared experience, a shared world, even though they're not actually shared worlds. Again, that idea and the identity of self that you can take from one place to another has some really exciting and possibly, you know, heavy psychological baggage, but it basically creates this cohesive link between all these different platforms that feel like you're just jumping from one part of the map to another. Like you're playing a massive game and you're only going from one zone to another zone. Even though each of these apps, and many of them, have tons and tons of apps and zones. You can see here VR chat. I also showed everybody Fuse last week. There are no lack of Fuse-based VR chat characters, and there are no lack of Ready Player Me characters in VR chat. So if you're familiar with that one, check it out. This is kind of one that's become real popular on their website because it's tied into a lot of NFTs and different things that you can get that are interoperable, meaning you can buy or get something in this game and then you'll have it in the other games as you go along. Okay, there are tons and tons of these. As you scroll down, you can find even more, just tons and tons and tons and tons. I would say probably every month I'm seeing some new tools or utilities that are embracing Ready Player Me. Will it be the de facto character generator for the metaverse? I don't know, but they're working really hard at it. And the stuff they can make and have you do is really fun and easy. You know, this one actually I just came across not long ago, Yaball. It's moving from virtual concerts to a really cool platform. Yahaha is another one that I'm just kind of jumping into and exploring recently. Anyway, very easy, very fun. If you click on one of these, you can create a new avatar. I'm just doing this one because I only have one. You can either start with an avatar that you've already made for something else, and you can see you can upload a picture and it will generate an avatar based on your photo, or you can make it as different or as similar to what you look like as you want. It is basically like The Sims. It is incredibly fun. So you can just simply pick whatever you like and go through and create a character just like, in about any character generator, right? You can change the elements, you can change the skin tone and hair and all kinds of stuff. Different platforms allow more flexibility. So, like here you got this Dracula one. So, like if I go back to spatial, for example, I think they're pretty open. I've got tons. Create a new avatar, and you can see, again, let's go here. You can pick different skin tones. That's interesting. I thought I've seen some interesting skin tones, but I don't know what platform. I know hair has a ton of colors. So you can pick whatever kind of color hair you want. They are constantly adding new elements, like L'Oreal Paris themed hairstyles. There's some really weird ones. You can change out the clothes on your avatar, etc. So there are some that are like locked. Those are premium, meaning you got to pay for them. But there are tons that are completely free and able to pick from. Lots of normal looking clothes, lots of weird looking clothes, lots of fun clothes that you can kind of pick from. You can also download this avatar when you're done. So let's just do next. And now I have this avatar. Come on, there it is. Let's go down and find it. Bang. And I can download this thing. So download avatar GLB right there. So you can delete it or keep it or download it or whatever you like. That's a weird one. I don't need it. But you can see, you can create lots of fun things. I actually created one and downloaded it for spatial. This guy right here, I created, downloaded it, and turned him into an orc. So if you ever see me in spatial, he's what I modified, again, using ZBrush and 3ds Max. There are lots of other tools. This one, Luma.ai, is one of the best 3D generators I've come across. That doesn't mean all the models are very good. So kind of a heads up, you can see here the state of 3D models and 3D model generation right now in AI isn't perfect. So it's cool, it's interesting. Depending on what you're trying to make, some things work better. Like you can see here, here's a Star Wars helmet I made. And you can see definitely captures the Star Wars look and style, kind of like a cross between the old Republic helmets and stuff. But you can see it's a little bit wiggly, it's a little bit odd looking, all kinds of fun stuff. I can download it, which is nice. There are some retopology tools built in here you can use, or you can just download this, bring it into ZBrush, 3ds Max, etc. I will say, right now, 3D modeling generators are a bit rough. So if you're wanting something that's perfect and ready to go in game, if you don't mind it looking a little bit, airbrushed and lumpy, go for it. Otherwise, this is a great start. I could take this into ZBrush and fine tune it and put details on it and sculpt right on this thing. So this one is called Luma AI. So here, it also has a scanner. So, you can pipe in whatever you want here. Let's say cool hat. You can tell that I'm feeling awfully creative today. I'm nervous my video is getting too long, but let's let that go for a minute and I'll check out a few more. So again, this is another one I came across. This one's rough. It's for creating patterns, but then literally today, or this week anyway, I came across this one. So let's play with it. Let's see. I'll say 80s arcade carpet floor texture repeating Showbiz Pizza, which is so let's see, we'll do one image. Come on, maybe two is the best you get. All right, I've just signed up for this, so let's see. Okay, so this might take a while. Again, some of the stuff takes a little bit of time, but here you go. Here are repeating patterns it's created. I don't love them, but there it is. This one does give you 20 credits for free. That ain't a whole lot, but it creates a pattern a little bit better. There are some other pattern generation tools out there, and of course you can use Photoshop. So if you just come up with a cool picture, you can go into Photoshop and play with it. Let's see, there's our model we just created. So here's cool hat. Looks like I'm not the only one that's been watching the One Piece on Netflix, right? But here you go. Cool hat. Generated super quick. We can up-res these to high resolution. At this time, Luminant AI doesn't seem like it has a cap, so you can make as many things and up-res them as much as you want. That might change in the future. A lot of these things start out free and then become paid for. This is one of my absolute favorite. This one is amazing. Blockade Labs. I showed this first time to 3D graphics class a year ago. It's gotten so many more features, so many more amazing things, and isn't as free as it used to be. But you basically type a prompt, you pick what kind of look you want it to have, and click generate. And it will go. And it will create an entire skybox that you can use in your game. I have never seen kind of a simpler way of doing this. They're bumping that up even more now, and they're trying to find ways to turn this skybox into a complete 3D area. So here you can see, I don't know what Hootie means. Let's put some cars in. Some really cool and weird ones. Again, text ain't great, but there we go. Here's my skybox, and I can just simply click download and pick whatever I want. And there it is. I have that JPEG or that PNG that I could use in my game that fast. So neat stuff. Lots of really cool stuff. There is always getting more and more. I can't stress that enough. Casadura has been around a long time for animation. Some of these tools, again, are newer. Some are older. Dream Textures have been around for a little bit. That's a plugin for Blender that automatically textures models. So it's pretty amazing. I will leave you with one little bit as we're at about 16 minutes. I don't want to take this too long. And that is, this is the worst these tools are going to be. They will only get better. So if you're like looking at the model and you're like, meh, you know, it ain't the best, or like, sure, that's cool or whatever, and you know, it's neat to make these, but maybe this turntable, you know, it's a weird chewing gum turntable. Again, it looks like a LiDAR scan from a 3D scanner. That's how they're building these. And yeah, you're right. It's rough, but this is the worst it'll ever be. This will only get better. They will only look better. And some of them look better than others. Some of them look worse. So, you know, again, you're not having to use any of these. This is not required. This is merely just, I want to show you some of the amazing stuff that's out there. Again, you can use Blockade Labs to create your own skybox. You can download it, and you can use it inside of Spatial. Spatial has an example of that skybox you can download, and all you do is rename this file, what that one is called, and replace it in the zip folder. That's it. It's pretty neat. And again, they're adding some tools to this to turn it into a 3D area already. So this will be even more impressive next year. Okay, hopefully that's fun. Hopefully you're seeing there's so many amazing tools out there, and we're getting more and more and more. I hope you're excited about it. I'm excited about it. The accessibility on all these tools is going to make it so anybody who has a dream or an idea or a video game they want to make, they're going to be able to do it. And that bar of entry is just getting lower and lower. And while that can be scary because specialty skills become a little bit less valuable, it's much more exciting than not, right? And I stress very hardly to all of you, in the time you have left to graduate, embrace these tools. You know, you can fight them. I get it. I totally get it. And ethically, it makes sense. But, you know, the truth is, you can either fight the change or you can embrace the change, and that's up to you. But you're in a unique spot in the place where you can start embracing this change, and you can bring those skills to possible employers. You know, reaching out. I also teaching games testing this semester, reaching out to indie developers and telling them, I can create skyboxes in seconds. That I have a tool that can auto-generate skyboxes immediately. That I have a tool that I can create my own 3D models. That I can do anything. You know, do you want to make a game and don't want to have to make avatars? Bang, I got a tool completely free to use that you can use. Again, it's an interesting time. We are at the precipice of a major change, and that change is scary, but this is awesome. These tools are so cool. How long it would take me to make this stuff back in the day, it's crazy to think how quickly I can make it. And yeah, maybe it ain't perfect, but I can still take this into Photoshop and edit it or modify it or tweak it or change whatever I want. You know, this is just providing you the first draft, right? I can take any of these models, and if I like it pretty good, I can up-res it, I can download it, I can even download it low-res, really. See, I can download it now. And if I like it enough as it is, I can download it now and throw it in an engine, or bring it into 3ds Max, or bring it in a ZBrush and sculpt something from it. These are just all tools at your disposal. All right, I get distracted. I get excited by this stuff. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I'm sorry it's so long, but there's some neat stuff out there. Please check it out. Have fun. Just cite it. 3D models made by this, textures made by that. That's all. That's all you gotta do. All right. Good luck. We have about a week and a half left, so I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. I can't wait to see your creativity.